Hi, everybody. This is Miss Sanchez. I'm going to talk to you about triangle inequality. Okay, first thing we need to get out of the way is the symbols for inequality. So we have this symbol, this symbol, this symbol with an underline, and this symbol with an underline. Okay, so that first symbol is less than. The second one is greater than. This one is less than or equal to. So just quickly, that one looks exactly like the less than symbol, but there's an underline, so that's where the or equal to part comes in. And then this one, which looks like the greater than, you guessed it, is going to be greater than or equal to. Okay, so let's say you have an equality that looks like this. I'm sure you remember that from middle school, your teacher probably told you to pretend that this is like a little crocodile. Well, maybe not a little crocodile. Sorry, my crocodile looks kind of ugly. It doesn't really look like a crocodile. But either way, pretend that it's a crocodile. Crocodiles are big creatures and they like to eat other big creatures like deers and zebras. So if I'm looking at this crocodile, looks like that crocodile wants to eat B. So I can safely assume that B is probably bigger than A. So we read inequalities from left to right. So from left to right, I would say that A is less than B. Now, if you're comparing B and C, that crocodile between B and C is no longer looking at B, it's looking at C. So C is now bigger than B, and reading it from left to right, we would say B is less than C. Okay, so let's say, for example, B equaled 4. Since A is less than B, A could be any values like 3 or 0 or -2, so on and so on. Anything that's less than 4. It cannot equal 4 though because there's no underline here. So it's not less than or equal to 4, it's just less than 4. And then C, since it's greater than B, would be 5, 12, 1,000. Any number that is greater than 4, but again, not equal to 4 because there's no underline there. So now let's apply this to triangles. A triangle inequality is going to be an inequality statement, okay, about the 3 sides of a triangle. So let's say we have a triangle over here. This is side A, this is side B, this is side C. And you try to match it up exactly like here. So we're saying A is the smallest value, all right? C is your biggest value, and B is going to be that side length in between the smallest and the smallest and the biggest side. So it's going to be any value between the smallest and the biggest. So we're saying A is our min, and C is our max. And B is going to be any number in between our min and max number. Okay, so let's take a look at some actual questions now. You may have a question where they give you a given triangle. Let's say triangle DEF has sides. That F looks weird. Let's fix it. That's better. All right. Let's say that side DE is equal to 7. And let's say EF is equal to 11. And you have to write an inequality that represents the third possible side of this triangle, right? So again, if I'm talking about triangle DEF, and I have that DE equals 7, and I have that EF equals 11, then we are talking about what is DF. Yes. All right. So let's see. It's always the same process every single time. We are given two sides. We have to find that third side. So first, we're going to actually sort these sides. We're going to sort it by the largest to the smallest. So one way to remember this is that L comes before S in the alphabet. The larger number here is 11. The smaller number here is 7. Okay, and we're going to want to subtract them. Subtract and add them. So 11 minus 7 is going to give me 4. And 11 plus 7 is going to give me 18. All right. So this is my minimum and my maximum. The last thing to do here is to get that middle side and put it in between. So we're going to say DF. Oops, I wrote DE. DF is in between 18 and 4. And we're going to always use the less than symbols, okay? We're never going to use these symbols, less than or greater than. Never going to use those, okay? We're always going to use the less than symbols. So actually, that's a good tip, because if you see an answer choice that looks exactly like these, but there's some underlines here, then you know you need to automatically cross that one out, because we're never going to have the equal to signs in triangle inequalities. So that is it. I'm going to give you one last look at this. And there we go.